Welcome to Off the Beaten Path. My name is Cush.
My name is Breezy. On our podcast, we explore the great outdoors and the Second Amendment with a blend of culture,
comedy, and conversation. And oh yeah,
I'm making beats.
That's a good intro.
I'll get used to it one day.
Hey, welcome to this episode of Off the Beaten Path, folks. Y'all know me. My name is Cush. That's my brother Breezy. There you got his little MPCX hands making beats. And tonight's guest is the one and only Big Dre from Owr Armament. Big Dre, introduce yourself, bro.
Man, Big Dre 357 on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that. I own a company called Owr Armament. We produce firearms, AR-15s in particular. And like my boy Fat Guy with Guns say, get yourself one.
Get yourself. Hey, shout out to Fat Guy with Guns. My brother Zach. I love that guy. Hey, but you said it like, man, like it ain't nothing big. I make firearms, ARs. Bro, you make some fire. Yeah, bro. You make some. Yo, Breeze, cue up that DJ horn. Because we're not gonna act like what you make ain't fire, bro. You got some fire pieces, bro.
I appreciate you, brother.
You do premium builds, and it's definitely you're based here in Tennessee, right?
Right.
All right, so
hold on, hit it one more time. Say it again, Dre. Say it again.
You make what?
I make AR-15s.
There you
go. I just feel like, people are like, you don't really like get hype about it. And I'm like, I'm a manufacturer. I let my product speak for itself, man.
Yeah.
So
no, I got you. I'll follow.
I'm biased.
Of course. I mean, you gotta be though. Like you gotta. Everybody has to believe they're Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like when people know, like when people talk about me and Breezy, they know. Because originally we were Forever Dope. That was like before we started Apex Mountain. People knew Forever Dope, and anybody in the city knew them boys at Forever Dope. They gonna let it know. They gonna let it be known that that's them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really big on amping up and piping up. But bro, I want to tell you thank you for being on the show because I'm really excited to discuss a little bit about what you do. So you're a manufacturer in Tennessee. It's all your designs. You make them, you put them together, assemble them, and then you ship them off, right?
Right.
All right. So for people who ain't familiar with your brand, what platforms are you manufacturing right now?
I manufacture AR-15s, and the only AR-10 that I manufacture is A6 Blackout.
Okay. All right. And
at least the new line to the lineup, it's AR-15 platform, but we call them the PPWs, the personal protection weapons.
Those are dope. And I know you're gonna show us those in a minute. But how did you get into this, bro? What made you say, I want to get into building and sell some of these?
So my partner, he took me to the range one day. First time I'd ever shot an AR-15. I absolutely fell in love. I actually found one and went and bought it that day.
Wow.
So I started watching YouTube. I was like, you can watch YouTube videos and see what kind of stuff you can do to these. So I started kind of tweaking that one. And then I sold it. And I used that money and took the knowledge that I learned from watching videos and bought all the parts to build my first one.
Wow.
And I was like, man, that was pretty simple. I could do that easily. And so one of my partners was like, hey, man, I want to do one. You know what I'm saying? If I buy the parts for you, put it together. I'm like, yeah. So we did it. And that was the first 224 Valkyrie I ever built. And he was like, man, you good at this. He's like, everybody I show it to, they like it. You know what I'm saying? The gun shoot good. He said, you ought to do it. Make a business out of it. Just do it. I was like, that's a good idea. So I got to doing research, like what kind of licenses I would have to have, whatever, doing all that type of stuff, man. And figured out what I needed. I did it. And I had built the original Anubis prototype. It was a 12.5-inch 224 Valkyrie.
Oh, wow.
And so that was going to be the original Anubis.
Okay.
And I wanted to name the guns Anubis because it's Anubis, man. It's the god of the dead.
Yep.
It protects your soul as you transition from life to death. So I was like, it's only fitting. You know what I'm saying? And I got tired of these weird ass names like the XM 75 5236.
Yeah.
So we went with the Anubis, and then Owr, one of the lodges under my grand body. I'm a Mason. Their lodge name is Lodge of Owr.
Oh, that's dope.
The Hebrew word, it means light.
Yep.
So I was like, well, I want to shine like the sun. I want to be a bright light out here in this industry. But I wanted to be the king. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be the king of the jungle out here. You know what I'm saying? So
how long have you been doing it now?
That was, I got that first one in 2016, but the second one 2017. So 2018 is when I started really just diving in and doing all my research. 2022 is when I actually launched the company officially.
That's dope. That's dope. And I like that because it shows your passion. You know what I'm saying? Because you said you started in 2016 and then 2022 is when you launched the company. Bro, I know that's years of just tinkering, doing some research, building, figuring out what you like, what you don't like. That's what you call elbow grease. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you just got together and was like, man, I'm gonna just build something. No, you were like, man, let me really figure this out because I like it. And I remember the first time we met was at Regular Meter, right? Shout out to RGG.
Right. Shout out to RGG, man. That's my guy.
And you got a better way of telling the story. So you got to tell that story how we met, bro.
So Cush was working for this company called Ammo Depot.
Yeah.
And he was there. They were sponsoring the event. And we had been hearing about Cush, but we hadn't really seen him. So we didn't know who he was. We just knew he was the ammo plug.
Yeah.
So we was blowing up the spot, whatever. And so we're at Arm 2, actually.
Arm 2,
here in Nashville. And me and my now wife, we were outside smoking. And Cush had been hanging out the whole time. We see each other and chop it up and stuff, but we never asked each other what our names were.
Yep.
We were just chopping it up, just kicking it on some homeboy vibe. We was out there smoking and stuff. And I'm like, man, he had on the blue tie, whatever, blue vest, whatever. He was clean, you know what I'm saying? So we chopping it up and talking about our suits and stuff. And then we get in there and we in the event. And RGG's like, yeah, we'll introduce you out to Cush. And I was like, that's Cush?
Yeah.
We've been doing all weekend.
We've been talking all weekend. That's a fact. And bro, man, shout out to RGG. We're gonna have him on this episode. But that was what, 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago now. And so
this is our almost 3 years ago.
Almost 3 years ago, yeah. Yep. And so now 3 years, you've been building up your clientele base. You've been making some dope stuff. I've seen some stuff on the internet, on social media, like you teasing some stuff out. What was it for you that was like, man, I wanna get to building this? Let's say, because right now you're manufacturing what, 2 platforms, right?
Right.
So what made you say like I want to go with these 2 first, versus just do like I'm gonna do a regular like 5.56, 2.23. I'm gonna do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it that made you want to go with the 2 platforms you are making?
So I mean, first and foremost, 5.56. That's pretty much a standard.
Yeah.
But I like 2.23 Wild better. That's why I chose 2.23 Wild for the chambering, because you get more accuracy, you get tighter tolerances in the chambers and stuff like that. But my thing was I wanted to build something that was premium quality, but mid-range price. People could afford. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I always refer to my guns as to me, the Anubis, which is our signature gun, I call it's mil spec for me.
Yeah.
It's not mil spec as far as the parts, but I consider it mil spec for my standards.
Yeah.
And but people are like, nah, it's more like a mid-tier mil spec plus, because it's got a nice stock, nice grip.
Yeah.
The components that are in the firearms are nice quality.
Yeah.
So once I figured out how to make that 5.56 shoot like a 22, I noticed people was crazy about 308 and 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yep.
So that's when I started playing with AR-10s. But everybody got an AR-10s because all this other stuff come out, 6 arc and all that stuff. You don't need that heavy gun.
Yep.
So I just scratched the AR-10s. But A6 Blackout, that's one of my best sellers, and that's one that everybody really likes. It's a fantastic round, so I continue to do those.
Which is the one that is like everybody looks forward to, like anytime?
Whenever I go to events, a lot of people, especially like in Arm 4, a lot of people were coming up to me specifically looking for the A6 Blackout.
Man, that's dope.
And that's the one you shot.
That's the one I shot. Yeah. I know. I had fun with that. You know what I'm saying? I think the video's going live either tonight or tomorrow. I don't know when it is, but you know, it's just been all kind of moving parts. But so how like what is it like to be a Black-owned manufacturer in the space? Because I know you're in Tennessee, bro, and depending on where you're at in Tennessee, you're either well received or you're not. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get your perspective as a business owner, what it's like to be a Black-owned manufacturer and to sell some, like, I'm gonna call them premium products. What how's that been for you, bro?
To be honest, people really don't take you serious. They don't take you serious. So when you go to events like at Goals, for example, when I would walk up to, I ain't gonna call nobody out, put nobody on blast, but when I would go up to some of these big names and mention to them, you know, I'm a firearm manufacturer, you can see that little smirk, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But in the back of my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, well, you got this guy's $3,000 rifle. Mine is only $1,300.
Yep.
Better to run with his. So it's like people don't take you serious in the space. Like when I tell people I own a rifle company, a lot of people they say, "Oh, what do you do? Just buy parts and put them together for people?" Like, no, bro, they got my name on it.
Yeah. I remember when you told me that, bro. Bro, when you told me, I said, "What?" You were like, "No, it has my name on it, my stamp. It's mine." I was like, "Hold on." Now, I don't want to go into no like industry details, although you know it's up to you to divulge. But bro, that's impressive, bro, and it's impressive for me because you know every episode we've said it, and it's we lead with our mission. You know, we've had many conversations. We're faith driven, but the mission of Apex Mountain is to bridge the gap. It is to show that there are Blacks, Latinos, and other minorities and women, and that not only do we buy and own guns, but we design them and manufacture them too. You know what I'm saying? And so that like the first time you told me, it has my name on it. I was like, what? Bro, you remember? I was like, you like, yeah, it has my name on it.
Yeah.
I was blown away because you're right, bro. I almost made that. If you wouldn't have said it, I would have made the assumption of, oh, Big Dre probably just buys them and, puts them together and flips them. But then when you told me, that's when I started, like really, my wheels really started turning because me and Breezy, Breezy, what you doing over there? Chopping the beat?
Yeah, you doing something over there.
I might got a little something over here. I don't know. Let's see.
Well, what are you chopping first? I want to hear that first.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna let you hear. Hold on. You hit me I just flipped from the sample. Hold on. There we go. Here we go.
That's kind of hard.
It's kind of going in and out.
That's on some old Superfly stuff right there.
Yeah.
Chill mellow.
You're gonna flip that?
Come on, man.
You're gonna flip that?
You finna flip that?
All right. We'll see. You got some time. So what I was saying is me and Breezy, when we got into the, we've been in the music industry for I don't know how long, but when we decided to open up a business, our thing was like, not only does our business have to have our name on it, but we're gonna do everything premium. Like we didn't simp out and buy, cheapest stuff. Like there's that expression, right? You buy once, you cry once.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so like I just had this conversation last night with my brother, bro. And this morning with my wife. Like me and Breezy, we've always, I can buy this for a band, and this one's $3,500. I'm gonna just save and get the $3,500 one. Why am I gonna buy the $1,000 one? You know what I'm saying? And there is that demographic of people, especially in the gun space. I know there's influencers out there who have the budget friendly guns, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's cool. And I would consider myself kind of midline, more high end, but it's one of those things where like I enjoy the premium. You know what I mean? So to see how you're putting these pieces together, and I know you got something there you want to show us, and I want you to talk a little bit about that. Because I mean, why not, bro?
Yeah. I mean, so right here, this is like the newest kid on the block. These are the Ankh and the Flail. And this one, I actually carry this one.
That's hard.
So this guy.
Come on, Big Dre. Come on. Hold on. I got to stop this real quick.
So this guy right here.
Yeah, just hold it up for a second.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. You see that logo right there? That's my logo.
That's beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? So they are built on the Anubis platform.
Yeah.
And these right here, everybody's like, Dre, you got to make a bag gun. And so I was like, so this is what I came up with. And so it looks a lot like another firearm on the market. And that wasn't intentional, but it kind of was. Because I was looking at the other one. I actually own it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about how much it costs and how much stuff on there is not usable. For example, you got that's the Ankh. Got an 8-inch barrel with a 1-in-5 twist. This is the Flail.
Yeah.
This is his big brother. All right. So when people see this, they're like, oh, that looks like such and such. It does. And what it was, like I said, I own this particular firearm. And I was like, there's so many things I would have done different. For example, you'll notice these have ambi mag release button.
Ambi, yep.
So you got ambi mag release button, and it's an extended mag release button.
That's dope. Yeah.
So then you've got your handguard. This is a suppressor compatible handguard. So if you look, that piece of Picatinny holding that light,
yep,
is mounted directly to the rail. And an M-lock, it's not using Picatinny up here to do some weird angle hole.
That is M-lock, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, it was stuff like that, that I thought about. Like, for example, this right here, this emissary grip. See how far forward that is?
Yeah.
On that other one, it would have been like way back here somewhere.
Yep.
Because you can't use none of this M-lock space.
Yeah.
I thought about stuff like that. Then they have the stock on theirs. So now this becomes a 2-stamp gun. Well, this is a 1-stamp gun because this is a pistol that comes with a suppressor. See that? Got your stock.
Yes, sir. Look at that.
Yeah, but look, trick here. Mine has 3 positions, not just 2.
What?
So where the other one that people know,
you
have fully extended, fully collapsed. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, you got 3 positions.
So those are all things I was thinking about. And so when I dropped the announcement video on these, there was, somebody commented was like, there were some issues with that other one that you addressed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you already know how my stuff runs. You shot it.
You just said something that's so important that I think certain manufacturers, they get too big. They forget how to listen to the voice of the people who are buying it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? You just said when you dropped it, people started commenting that you addressed certain things that other platform didn't think about. And so that's dope to me, because in business, and you know, you're a business owner, I'm a business owner. In business, a large part of owning a business is fixing a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people who fail because they think, oh, I'm just going to introduce something to market and I'm going to just sell it. Man, it don't mean nothing if you just sell it. What
Right.
problem are you fixing? You know what I'm saying? Like, where is there a hole in the industry for you to fill? So for you to see that and just and take that on yourself, bro, entrepreneurship is expensive, bro. So I commend you for like taking the time to build that and pay attention to that, because that's just going to translate better for you and your sales as these firearms become more available, and the more people order and the more people start talking about it.
Right.
So are those the first two? Like, are those is that what you're running right now, or you're just testing them out, or in a couple months you're gonna be launching them, or what?
I've announced them, but they won't officially launch until on 5.
Okay.
All
Wait,
right,
so you're doing the grand reveal at Arm 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's one out there in the wild already.
I saw it. I saw it. You shot it out, our big brother, earlier in the beginning. I saw it. I was like, oh, man.
Yeah, there's one in the wild. That's the only one in the wild right now. And what was crazy, you know, we talk about tax stamps and how long it takes to get them. He got the stamp back for that can with that firearm in 27 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. So like
that is crazy.
So like the calibers I do 300 blackout, 223 wide, which is 5.56 basically.
Yep.
6 arc is one that people like. I was gonna do 6mm max. 6mm max is a phenomenal rank. I absolutely love it.
I've never shot it, bro.
You actually have shot it and probably don't even realize.
What?
When? You were there the day that it was unveiled to the world.
Arm 4?
Nope.
Arm 2?
Not so last year.
Oh, really? No.
Yeah.
Wow.
The guys that developed the round were at SHOT Show. And,
wow.
Remember where Sons of Liberty was at? That
Yeah,
gun everybody kept going over there shooting?
Yep.
That's what
That's
that was.
The one. Wow.
That was 6mm max. So, and what made me fall in love with it was when I shot it that day, that man handed me a 10.5-inch firearm and said, he hit the chronograph. He's like, fire a round. And when I fired that round, and I looked at that chronograph, and that round left that muzzle at 3,004 feet per second out of a 10.5-inch barrel, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What the hell?
That's
crazy. Like, that shouldn't even be possible.
Yeah. Yep.
But it did.
Wow,
and I fell in love at that moment. I literally, before I left Las Vegas from SHOT Show, I already had ammunition and a barrel en route to Tennessee so I could start building the prototype.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
As a matter of fact, I think you actually fired a few rounds out of it at Arm 4.
Arm 4, yeah. I probably wouldn't even have realized it, bro, if you wouldn't have said none.
Yeah, but the only problem I have with that is it has a little bit of problems feeding. And since it does have some feeding issues until I can get that figured out, because it's something to do with the magazine.
Yeah.
So I've got some new ones, so I'm going to try those out. But until that gets addressed, I'm not putting it out there.
See, that's good, bro. That's good. And, you know, like, ain't no shot at those big companies. You do eventually get so big that, you know, QC is just, you're manufacturing so big. You know what I'm saying? But I like small boutique companies because you can still pick up the phone and that number on your website is going 9 times out of 10 hit the owner's cell phone. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to hit the phone in my pocket right now.
You know what I'm saying? So, and that lets me know that you care about what you're not too big to not care. You know what I'm saying? You're in this sweet space where like you can stay boutique and continue to make some dope firearms and introduce some stuff to market and still keep your ear to the people. You know what I'm saying? Because if they can reach you and they know they can access you directly, and you've got a customer for life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, Breeze, what are you cooking up, Breeze?
Man, he in there doing the
Some
thing.
drums and stuff real quick. Just got some little snares and whatnot.
All right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's,
That right there, that makes you want to go ahead and fire one of them right there.
all right. Oh, that's the camo cigar, right?
Yeah. That one right there.
Yeah. Shout out to man, what's that company's name again?
First Amendment.
Is it
first responder?
Yeah,
First responder. Shout out to them. We met them in Knoxville. Hey, Breeze.
Yo,
Breeze.
What you got?
He did it again. He did the frozen transformer thing again.
He did the front. Man, I missed it. Man.
That's crazy. I didn't even realize it. I'm connected directly.
Do you believe now, Morpheus?
Yeah.
Yo, that's great.
But yeah, man, I don't know, man. Meeting people like you out here at these events and in this industry, y'all make it a lot easier to be in this industry because if I didn't meet some of the people that I met,
yeah,
and I didn't meet some of the people that have supported the company, then I probably wouldn't even be doing this anymore.
Yeah. Man,
yeah,
that's
the same way about y'all too.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man, I appreciate your words and the feeling is mutual. You know, like we're just crossing into Apex Mountain is just crossing into its second year off the beaten path. We're happy to be launching that this year because we want to create channels for people like us. You know what I'm saying? People who come from our backgrounds or look like us or come from the inner city. You know what I'm saying? And you know what's funny? Man, you know, I'm going to say this now on record. And this is going to be, we're headed into SHOT Show tomorrow. We leave to Vegas tomorrow, right, Breeze? Breeze, I'm going to need you to stop real quick. Because I've seen this happen. Me and Breezy been boys for 10 years. Mm. And in the last 10 years, I have seen more, and this isn't a thing, I want to be intentional in saying this. This is not a thing about race. This is not a thing of like, oh, it's us versus them. No. This is about uniting the community. Like, yo, it's not just hunters. It's not just law enforcement. Man, there's guys out here who are tactical, personal defense, manufacturers who like tinkering around and building. There's all of our brains and our creativity can coexist. Here's my issue for as far as I can look is there's not really any urban style media. There's not any really media companies or marketing companies like ours who do what we do, how we do it, and how intentionally we are. And I've told Breezy to stop because when people look at Breezy, if he puts on a certain outfit, he becomes a chameleon. He becomes another white guy in the ocean of the crowds at these events. Yeah. But Breezy dresses like he got a little bit of bop to him, a little bit of 50 Cent. You know what I'm saying? Like no Diddy, but you know what I'm saying? And that's funny because, yo, bro, straight up when we first met each other, we were working at a big box retail music store, and there was an old, you know, ain't too many of these everywhere popularly. It's a popular chain store, but where we're at in the city, we're talking people from out west. And when I say out west, we're talking country. You know what I'm saying? They would drive in and they'd come in and talk to us. And one time they were talking to me and Breezy, this one particular dude. And, you know, he was just kind of just talking, blah, blah, blah. And he made it sound like this was the whole Breeze. You're gonna remember this. He was talking like the
know
great.
where you're going. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go with. You might think the other one. I'm going with the music. You know what I'm saying? Like when he was talking about music, like rock and roll and death metal and deathcore, and Breezy was like, nah, bro. One of the best albums ever is Outkast, Aquemini. He was like,
we were talking about best albums ever is what it was. And I said Outkast, Aquemini, and he looked at me like I had 5 heads. Like that's not even that's not even music.
Yeah.
He's like, what? And I was like, Outkast, Aquemini. I'm like, musically, sonically, production, you name it, like put that album up against anything. And he was just, it was like he didn't really know how to, right? Like he was trying to figure out how to feel about what was coming. He saw me. He's like, is this another white man telling me this? Like, what's like he was in a parallel universe, And I'm like it's like, bro, don't get stuck in.
So I got a question for you on that note.
I thought you were going. You're right. I thought you were going with another story, but I remember that one.
Yeah, I got a question for you on that note. Who's your top 5?
Ooh, man.
Man, this changes for me a lot. Okay, so in no particular order: Ice Cube, Andre 3000. Prodigy, a Mobb Deep, DMX, and Scarface.
Yeah,
that's a hard. Top 5 right there.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm leaving out some people that were jumping in, but that's it.
What about you, Dre?
What about me?
Yeah,
no particular order. Rakim, KRS-One. Andre 3000. And it's hard because I've always been a Jay-Z fan, but he's not in my top 5 though.
Why?
And it's just because when I look at my top 5, I'm looking at musical content. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of knowledge are you putting out there?
Yeah.
That's why KRS-One, Rakim,
I love that. Knowledge reigns supreme.
3000. You know what I'm saying? Scarface.
See, I flip-flop DMX and Jay-Z recently. We've talked about this, and that's why I was curious because I had Jay-Z up there for a while, but the older I get and the more I revisit DMX, I'm like, yo, DMX, he was different.
Yeah, he definitely got a seat there in Nas.
Yeah, Nas. It's tough. See, he popped him. It's so tough, man, to like really narrow it down to 5. Because I mean, Rakim, like I left Rakim off that list. I left Nas off the list.
Yeah,
Biggie, I left Big off the list.
See, and I love this conversation because my point in bringing up that if you were just to look at these 2 dudes, I'm talking about Rob and this other white guy, you would just be like, oh, it's just 2 white guys. But they're so different. Breezy got a Wu-Tang tattoo. He got Turntable tattooed on his leg. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's white boys who come from the city. You know what I'm saying? Just like there's black folks who live in the country. Just like the Latinos in the country. Just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's that right there is what I'm talking about. Like, yo, there's such a broad industry, but there ain't one particular trend. Not that I'm aware of, and if I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected. But I'm saying that because, like, I remember when I first started working in the space, my handler at the time, she told me straight up, she's like, "You're gonna see, like, there's this expression in the space," and she said it. And I'm not gonna repeat it, but I was like, "Oh man!" And then I started realizing, like, "Oh man, it's not really as diverse as I thought." You know what I'm saying? And so when I started doing my marketing efforts and I figured out who my people were, I was like, okay, I'm all about empowerment. So, and Dre, you know exactly what I did. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know exactly what I did. And so our faith fuels Apex Mountain, and our mission is so purpose driven that like even you just sitting on taking time out of your day to sit on this here podcast for an hour means a lot to me because, bro, we need more of this. We need more people talking about like, hey man, Big Dre, this dude in Tennessee, you see he manufactures high end. This just ain't enough conversations, ain't enough outlets. You know, I think I love the entertainment some influencers do, but at the end of the day, I'm just like, boy, I could be a Bojangles. Anybody can sit up and do reels and all that other stuff. And that, no disrespect, it's just my thing is we're purpose driven. You know what I'm saying? And you got a purpose. And the reason I'm saying that is because Owr Armament. And then each firearm you've designed and created has a name. And I want you to talk about the root of those names because I know you're big into your faith and you're pro African, I guess, spirituality. I can gather from when we spoke. And like for instance, you got one piece there called the Ankh. So tell me like what's your idea behind naming your firearms the way you do?
So for me, I've always been into like Egyptian stuff, Egyptian history and stuff. And, we come from Africa, as our ancestors did.
Yeah.
Even though we're born here in America. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have some roots that trace you back there.
Yep.
And their names have meaning. You know what I'm saying? You know the significance of Anubis.
Yep.
In ancient Egypt. And then you look at the Ankh, it represents the key of life, the womb.
Yep.
So where life began. The flail. The flail, that was a weapon that Anubis used in his duties.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Everything has a meaning. It's not just because. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just, and everything is tied back to, the motherland, where my ancestors come from.
Yeah. And I love that, bro. And I love that because that tells me you sat down and you really thought about all of this before you just started like jumping into it, because it ain't no like you said earlier, it ain't no funny style names when it comes to your products. Like you put thought behind it. You've really been intentional with what you're doing. So what's next for Owr Armament? I know everyone's talking about Arm 5. I know he's already dropped some merch ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna do the reveal for Arm 4 recap, but Arm 5, I know you're gonna be there. So what's 2025 look like for Owr Armament?
Hopefully in 2025, the goal is to have Owr Armory officially on the books.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, brother. That is a shop. It's a storefront. So that's the goal, is to get Owr Armory open. Continue to grow the brand. I've been going through kind of streamlining the lineup of what we offer. Yeah. What people are interested in, what they're not interested in. Of course, the straight up Anubis 223 Wild, that's always going to be there. He's a headliner of the brand.
Yeah, that's dope.
It's gonna be the Anubis. It's gonna be the Ankh, the Flail, the TB86, and the TB86 is the 86 Blackout. Okay. And so people are like, why do you call it the TB86? So TB86 stands for Teddy Bear 86. And the reason I call it the Teddy Bear is because 86 is a big ass round.
Yeah.
It's hard as hell.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I don't know. It just looks like it's just kind of cool.
Cute.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bring it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I call it the reason I call it a teddy bear, that, and then a friend of mine, his mom passed. Now, there's always been a little bit of racial tension there with certain members of the family. Mm-hmm. But his mom always treated me like one of her sons.
That's beautiful.
And she always called me her big teddy bear. No matter where she saw me, we could be in the middle of Walmart, Kroger, whatever. She's like, hey, there goes my big teddy bear. And she'd run and give me a hug.
That's beautiful, bro. So it has some
different than her own kids.
Man, that's beautiful.
So when she passed away, I dedicated that line of my rifles to her. So that's how the TB86 came about. And on the TB86s, all of the serial numbers actually start with DB BTB, which is Debbie Watson's big teddy bear.
Wow. Wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like that's cool, man. That's texture there, bro. I love texture. Texture is what gives more like feel to the brand, feel to the products, and I love that, bro. I love that, and I love what you got planned for this year. So I know we're not gonna see you this month, but where you at in February?
February, I'm just chilling. I'm going to take this year. We did a lot of traveling last year.
Yep.
And we were at a lot of events. We stayed busy, so I'm kind of chilling this year on the traveling side. You will see me in March at the gathering.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll be at, of course, R5. I'm one of the sponsors. So we'll be there. And that's probably going to be it for traveling this year. We're not going to do a whole lot of traveling this year because I want to focus on trying to get things moving to get the store going.
Are you going to Goals?
Yeah, I will go to Goals.
All right. Are you gonna be like a sponsor for Goals, like to be at the range, or?
I actually thought about it, and I talked to him about it when I was there last year. So that may happen.
That's cool. That's cool, man. Yo, Breeze, we got to pull you back in, bro.
Yeah, I'm here.
What you got? Come on, bro. It's been almost an hour.
Hold on. Wait, I've been jumping in and out here. I haven't really been. So
no excuses.
Yeah, that's all I hear is excuses.
Yeah, you're right. You're ready? This is all I got. Hold on. I'm gonna start it off like this, though. Hold on. What samples I got? So you're thinking. Little something. Okay.
Bro, yo, I'll be telling people like, yo, Breezy is talented, bro. Breezy is. You look at him, you be like, my boy can't pump out no beats like that. Hey,
yo, what do you?
Breezy Black Irish.
Yo,
Black Irish.
We were at the studio one time, and Cush had a client, and we would message each other. Like we're in basically like he's in his control room, I'm in mine. We got two booths, so I'm just in there chopping it up, making beats, and he's like, apparently the guy. This is Cush telling me this story. Apparently the guy's like, yo, who's over there?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that's my partner Breeze, and he's like, oh, okay, cool. So the funny thing was, I don't know how he pictured me in his mind based on what I was making over there. But when we bent around the corner and he's like, oh, what's up, man? And Cush comes out and goes, oh, yo, that's Breeze. He's like, yo, bro, you over there cooking that up? I'm like, yeah, that's me. He's like, he's like, stop. I'm like, yeah, bro. He walked in. I'm like, I got the NPC. He's like, bro, he sat on my couch, mind blown. He's like, dog, I need some beats from you, bro. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, man. And that's something that we've got to. That right there is a prime example of how people look at me in the industry.
Yeah.
John Patton came up to me at Goals when we was at the range, and he saw my necklace.
Yeah.
Now, in the sun, at the right lighting, this thing looks like a disco ball.
Yeah.
So he walks over to me, and he's like, where can I get a necklace like that? He said, I need one that says TGC. I don't think you realize that ain't just some random necklace that came out of some little Acme jewelry store in the mall. This was made. This is a custom made piece by a high end jeweler.
Yeah.
And this is my company logo. So I don't think you realize that.
Look at this guy. That's my twin brother back there.
Yeah.
What up? What up, bro?
He had everybody mess up in arm.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, it's two of y'all. Hold up.
People watching like,
what's going on?
I think I met him for the first time at SHOT Show, right?
Yeah. Last SHOT Show.
Yeah, last year, SHOT Show.
Yeah, because I turned around and I was like, what?
A bunch of people, they're like, yo, Cush. And he's like, no, not me. They're like, yo, Cush, come here. He's like, no, my brother, he's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't be doing that, bro.
Hey, so bro, I wanna say first and foremost, thank you again for being on the podcast. We appreciate you. Yo, tell people where they can find you, bro.
Man, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. OwrArmory.com. I'm in the process of actually building a brand new website. We're working on that now. It's going to be strictly focused on our products and not have a whole bunch of other people's products on there. So yeah, just look us up, man. Find me at BigDre357.com. I'm Big Dre 357 on everything, and you can connect to Owr Armament through all those channels.
Okay, all right, cool.
And I want to tell y'all, man, I gotta give y'all flowers, bro.
Thank you,
bro.
bro.
I watched y'all grow from day one, and y'all doing some amazing stuff out here. Y'all done did some major stuff out here since y'all popped up a couple years ago, man. And I want to give y'all flowers while y'all. You know what I'm saying? Out here doing y'all thing, man. Y'all brothers is doing the thing.
Appreciate it, bro. One day at a time, bro. God first.
100%. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, number love and respect for y'all. Look forward to doing some business with y'all coming up soon.
Yeah.
Trying to get these financials right.
Yeah. And we will when it happens, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
The feeling's mutual, Big Dre. You know that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, you're one of our guys, man. We love seeing you at events and love what you do.
Oh, yeah. Same here, man. I love watching y'all's content. I'm looking forward to this arm video y'all finna drop. When y'all dropping it again?
Supposed to be. Actually, he just texted us. So
yeah, I was gonna say, I think, did he do that? Was that tonight?
Well, he just texted us. So I'm gonna end this episode right here. I appreciate y'all tapping in.
Wait.
Dre, don't hang up. Wait. Oh yeah.
Mission passed.
Mission passed.
Mission passed.
Yeah.